डिसकंटिन्यू हो जाता है।
टीआरपी नहीं आती है, सिर्फ स्टार वैल्यू के लिए आती है।
Okay, we are live.
बता तो दिया करो यार
And
अनुराग।
we are talking about TRP and what a
मरवा दोगे
TRP day.
अभी
High TRP day, first day of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. India trailing after dismissing Australia for 177, trailing by just 100 runs, and with good 9 wickets in hand. They've lost one wicket of KL Rahul at 20, but India will clearly be the happier of the two teams. 5 for Ravindra Jadeja, 3 for Ravichandran Ashwin, and 1 apiece for the other two fast bowlers. The only wicket to fall in the Indian innings was taken by a debutant in Todd Murphy. So that's how the day panned out. What we're going to be discussing in the dugout is what should be the Indian team strategy going forward. They are in the driver's seat. So being the well-managed gents that we are, we'll start with Aditi will tell us what should be India's strategy going forward.
Strategy,
What
I
should
think
India do now that they are in a good position?
absolutely they are in a very good position, and if they keep up their good play, I mean there are good chances that we'll win. And of course we were expecting that the wicket, I mean what all we did not discuss the other day about the wicket, but apparently did not have those demons that we discussed.
There were no demons.
We can make use of that,
in the pitch. Only in
Yeah.
the minds of the Australians.
in the mind of the Australians, absolutely.
But they were, I mean, it was a dry turning wicket. That you could.
It was a typical first day Indian wicket.
No, a
A
first
little
day-
slowish.
Yeah, that's right.
A little
First day you
slowish,
don't
but
get that.
it wasn't turning. I mean, it wasn't. The ball wasn't spinning sharply.
In fact, what we discussed was that because the Indian spinners, considering that both Jadeja and Akshar can do that and Ashwin can adapt to it, lesser the turn the better. So we got the degree of turn that Australia got and Indian spinners got. And Australian spinners, because traditionally they are the ones that will bowl traditional flighted off spin deliveries, which turn more. Maybe turning more. If you saw, actually Nathan Lyon was kind of
getting a lot of turn.
a lot of turn, beating the batsman. But sometimes you need that quicker, wicket to wicket line, which Indians do better. Maybe this pitch is not suited to the Australian spinners. Which
I think the Australians were also over trying. I think the pitch theory played onto their minds. They were rattled. Like Sunny Bhai says, Tambu mein haar ke aaye. In the minds they'd lost it, making Travis Head sit out, playing this test match with 2 off spinners, which is bizarre actually.
Exactly.
More bizarre than the fact that Travis Head was
Sat
dropped.
out.
2 off spinners against India doesn't make sense, considering the fact that one of them is one of the best in the world. So the second one is only going to be a shadow.
Correct.
So on the one hand, there'd be Nathan Lyon would be doing the bulk of bowling, and Todd Murphy would just be his shadow. He did pick up a wicket, maybe 2. Ashton Agar would have been better. He would have bowled in the rough, and that is how I somehow felt that even when they batted, yes, the openers went out cheaply. Yes, they batted well till lunch, but I think in the second session they were trying to overdo things. Because they thought that this pitch will explode any minute. So let us make as many runs as we can. But actually, the last session also, the wicket played good. I mean, good as in it's not as bad as all of us assume. Maybe it'll get a little worse tomorrow. Maybe it'll be at its worst the day after. Maybe the test match may not go into the 4th day. But the fact is, if Australia, considering their experience, if they'd backed their skill, I'm sure they would have still been batting overnight.
Just to give you why Australia have not played both Travis Head, which we thought was a big decision, and they've gone with a second off spinner. Travis Head had a forgetful tour of Sri Lanka, Pakistan. Though he had
runs in 2
outstanding home series, 5 test matches. So they went for horses for courses. Again, I think that's a wrong decision. For Todd Murphy, they've gone with it because apparently Ashton Agar, in the time that they've been in India, they've not been happy with his match simulations and net practice. They said that he was lacking control or maybe a bit low on confidence. So keeping that in mind, they decided to go with the bowler that was seeming to be more threatening and more in control for this test match. That's why they went with Murphy. Is what I just read a couple of Australian newspapers and
Australia did not play like Australia.
Yeah, but going forward, what would be their plan? I mean, nobody, even themselves and India, did not expect them to, bundle out at 177.
I'm sure India
And now,
expected it.
Yeah, India expected it.
India did.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could see from Rohit Sharma, while we were saying that, oh, listen, 100, you could make out from the captain's reaction at the time that he knew at that time that every run that they're scoring may be costly. So even in bowling changes, sometime 1 over he would change because he quickly wanted a wicket. So somewhere back of his head, he knew that over 200 could be risky. So let me get them out below.
Correct.
You could see
162 for 5 at one stage
From there.
when Peter and Alex Carey were batting.
Yeah, hands coming.
And since runs had been coming pretty fast, Rohit gambled on Siraj, he gambled on the others, and they scored almost 100 runs in that session alone. Now, if they had not lost those wickets, 6 wickets they lost in that second session, if they could have, managed to go till tea with Carey and Peter Hanscom, things would have been different. But Rohit Sharma also knew that 1 wicket will alter everything. This wicket, when you go in, you'll need some time to get used to the pitch and the conditions. And once you start batting on it, you will enjoy batting on it. Just the way Smith and
Labuschagne,
they were doing in the first session. So they came back after lunch and immediately Labuschagne got out.
Correct.
So partnerships, that's the key. And again, unfortunate, KL Rahul, I think this is what luck does. I mean, he'd done all the hard work. He'd given India the kind of start India would have hoped for. India could well have been 40 for 3 or 40 for 4 by close of play today. But they were 77 for no loss at one stage, or 76 for no loss.
Yeah.
Now at that stage, getting out with just 1 over left in the day may or may not matter to the team. I think the team would be happy with 77 for 1. But KL Rahul on his own individual self knows now that there's just 1 innings. Where he'll have to score runs. I mean, if India win, maybe 1 more test match, but it could be
when
his...
he was walking off, it was clear that he knew that there's a chance he missed. And I think that ball, had KL Rahul been in good form, that confidence, that was a ball to be whiffed for 4. He would have. I think he was in 2 minds at that because of his defensive approach that he had before.
That's what...
just stopped on it.
Lack of form and lack of confidence.
That is why the way Rohit Sharma... I think if I look at the 3 heroes India had today, obviously Jadeja is number 1. Rohit Sharma would be my second hero. Ashwin would be the third one. Ashwin bowled well.
Third.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 wickets in a day and...
No,
setting
5 for
wickets is
Jadeja.
Jadeja.
So Jadeja would be number
Jadeja,
1.
I'm sorry.
Ashwin picked up 3, bowled well. I think Rohit, the way he led the side in the second session, there are times when captains can also be very clever. When Carey and Peter Hanscom, they were scoring runs at a fast pace, Rohit Sharma could have panicked also.
Right.
But he knew that these guys are going to take chances and one of them will get out.
Correct.
So Carey got out while playing a reverse sweep on a ball. He should have swept rather than reverse sweeping it. So the moment he got out, Rohit Sharma attacked. But for his batting, it was such a fluent knock. It was as if he was batting on a Pata wicket against a club side.
Correct.
I mean, Pat Cummins, the first 12 balls that he bowled to Rohit Sharma, he had 5 boundaries.
I think his approach was that there will be a ball that will have your name written on it.
Yeah.
So, because of the first ball actually is where it goes to third man for 4, right? That's the first 4 he gets. That's when he realizes there will be a ball with my name written on it. I am not going to be hanging around. Let me play from there on. Outstanding, fluent. I think the first over, the fourth over, the runs that he gets. And lest we forget, this is a Rohit Sharma that came into this test match with a lot of pressure. One, pressure of not playing too many test matches.
True.
He's been out of the 10 test matches, I think played only 2.
Missed 8.
2, not too many runs in white ball, so came in with that criticism. So he had to get a lot of runs on his own. That combined to have this kind of approach, and maybe this is the right approach to play. He also had the advantage of seeing the Australians bat.
Yeah.
So when he saw Hanscom play like that, initially worked. When you saw an Alex Carey play like that, it worked. When you saw Manas Labuschagne play like that, it worked.
Yeah.
You know, that aggressive approach. So he followed that. But I actually don't blame KL also for his approach.
No, I don't.
I think he also is trying to, he knows that his position is
Under the
under scanner. He needs to get runs. And if he took the more cautious approach, so be it. End of the day, when I think he would have walked into the dressing room, even though those runs are just 20, I think every player in that dressing room would have given him a
Pat on the back.
pat on the back for sure. Because as he said, maybe you could have been 40 for 4.
But
at
for
the end
India to, enter the field so fearlessly, is it because they were playing on home grounds?
no, they enter fearlessly every time.
I don't think India were fearless.
I mean, of course.
I don't think India were fearless. I think when
The
India
way
lost the toss.
Jadeja, I mean,
No, when India
he
lost
hit
the
it
toss.
out and sorry.
No, when India lost the toss in the morning,
Uh-huh.
I think you could see that tension and the panic in the dressing room.
Okay.
India realized at that very moment that
I
we've
think
lost.
that set the pace for the game. They actually.
No, see, when you lose a toss in these conditions, the problem is you're going to bat the last when the conditions will be at their
deteriorated.
worst.
Yes.
At the worst.
Right.
And I don't know, from whatever little that we've seen of the pitch today, it is going to only go down.
Exactly.
Maybe tomorrow will be worse, and then
Then day
so
3,
on,
day
so
4. Yeah.
in high pressure games, fourth innings, a target of even 125, 140 can test you. At times it can be difficult to chase down 150 in the last innings. So I think India knew at that stage. It's just that, like I said, maybe India thought it was Australia that they were playing against. But this wasn't the real Australia that we saw. They didn't have belief in their batting. They were not backing their skills, except for Labuschagne to an extent. Even Steven Smith, by the way. I really felt that the shot that he got out to was very casual.
Yeah.
Very casual.
Correct.
And normally Steve Smith, he also got a chance. Virat dropped him early on in his innings, and he's somebody who makes you pay for it.
Correct.
So Australia again,
Hanscom looked the best player of Spain.
but he
He
then
went into a shell.
yes,
But then that's because wickets stumbled.
Only the other side.
no, but then
When
wicket.
Carey was there, at that time he was.
But
playing
then
natural.
that is your game sense. That's where your game sense comes into play. A typical Australian who backs his skill would have taken control, and he would have ensured that he gets those 20, 30 runs, which would have taken Australia beyond 200. Now that's also a psychological barrier. 177 or 200. I mean, the difference is just 23 runs.
Right.
But psychologically, that can have a greater impact on the game.
Correct.
Right.
Harshit Sharma says average of 34 after 46 test matches. That is KL's average. Isn't this low for Indian cricket national team opener?
It is.
I will say just one thing on this. One of the current selectors, Shiv Sundar Das, during his test career averaged similar amount. In fact, he averages slightly more than KL does right now, and he was dropped for not having a good enough
he
average.
wasn't a superstar at that time, nah. He wasn't.
He was playing
perceived to
alongside
be
the greats like Sehwag,
Sachin, Dravid.
Dravid, Sachin, Lakshman and Ganguly.
Yeah.
And those were different times, by the way. An average of 36 then and an average of 36 now
Yeah.
there's this variance of about 5 or 8% at least, or 10% at least.
Yeah. Like I said, today I think I wouldn't I cut him some flack because I don't think that today's knock was crucial. You could have been 40 for 4 if your opening partnership didn't work. So, I mean, it reminds me of the time that India toured 2003 where Akash Chopra was opening. Never got a big total, but you would more often than not praise him
Sea
for
of the
that
newborn.
thing. So today it wasn't similar, but I'm saying that 50-run partnership initially or 60, 70-run partnership. Now I'm saying, you know how it must have impacted. I'm saying if I am a Virat Kohli
477, even though we'd lost the toss, and India are 77 for 1 by the close of play. It's just that if the subplot is important for the fans, normally what happens generally is that if a player is out of form, obviously we then keep talking about the players who's sitting out. And because there's a Shubman Gill who's sitting out, who deserves to be in the 11, and KL Rahul suddenly has become the favorite whipping boy for the critics. The subplot somehow has become more important than the overall story of the day. So people will talk more about KL Rahul's failure than the fact that India have the steering wheel of this test match in their hands.
But
on
who
day
do you
one.
think is the rising star, in the whole team, and who would take the game forward and actually help India win?
In this test match?
Yes.
Well, there's a lot to do. India will have to bat the entire day tomorrow. If
But-
you bat out the day tomorrow,
Then you're very much, I think, firm favourites
Yeah.
at that point.
you will get about, 260, 270 runs. So you'd be close to 340, 350, which would have given you a lead of about 150, 175, which I think is sufficient.
That's a good amount.
So, whenever there's Border Gavaskar trophy, the next big controversy is always around the corner. Last series we had plenty. This series, even before the first ball was bowled, plenty was spoken about the pitch. Now, after Australia have had a disappointing day, this is what Fox Sport is reporting, and if you can show this. Show the headline.
Let us
only.
see.
Just show it on your camera. No, you can't see the video. It's
Geotag.
Yeah. So it basically is Tim Payne, who was commentating for Fox, I'm guessing in Australia. He picked it up. So there was a moment there, I think after the 16th over, when Hanscom was batting, that they thought that he rubbed his hands and fingers near and around the ball. Though it was uncertain what exactly was happening, some suggesting he was putting something on his spinning finger. When footage of the moment was shared with Payne on Twitter, he replied, "Interesting. What is he putting on his spinning finger? Never ever seen this."
That's
England
Michael
great, Michael Vaughan, great. I don't know.
That's a bit much. But
Yeah,
okay.
England player, former captain,
England captain.
tweeted. But Michael Vaughan, I don't take him seriously. He's always looking for controversy. He did put something on his spinning finger. So basically, what it is that he goes on to there. Siraj comes. Siraj has something on his back of his hand. He comes and just show your hand and he takes something and then rubs it on his spinning finger. So that that could very well have been because you end up raising the spinning finger because you're turning.
Put a little bit of lotion on it. Yeah.
Lotion just to do that. So he just put that. But there is nothing that has really been put on the ball as such.
No, but then what is the story?
So they're
If
saying-
nothing's been put on the
They're
ball,
just trying to stir
No,
up
the
the
Australian
controversy
people-
again.
Fox has been trying to do that since yesterday. Since yesterday, they spoke about the pitch, then this and then that, the DRS as well.
Yeah.
So, the Australian media, the Australian fans, and the Australian former players, they're called the 12th man of the team.
Yeah.
They're the cheerleaders. Aditi, I've been going there, Nikhil's been going there for more than 20 odd years now. I think 5-6 times we've been to Australia, different tours.
We are in Australia.
It used to be the most difficult place
Yeah.
for us to travel to.
Why?
I mean, beautiful place. Difficult place as in the Australians will make it difficult for you to work and they would make it very difficult for the players to play. I mean, there are a few Indian players who would tell you that they would never want to field on the boundary line. They would get abuses.
Happened recently.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Siraj, you remember?
Yeah.
He complained and those players were kicked
Yeah.
out because racist taunts.
That Virat one time
What and
was
all.
being a naughty
Can
boy
I
as well.
demonstrate again what exactly happened?
Please
Because
do
you
that.
can't show. So basically, you start actually. So this is Siraj. He's standing there. Put your mic down. This is Siraj, and Ravindra Jadeja goes to him. You have a ball? No. Just give me anything which is like a ball.
Not the football.
No, give me the mug. Give me that mug. Give me that mug. Yeah. Yeah. So assume that this is the ball. So this is what has happened. He's got the ball in his hand like this. Jadeja goes. Siraj is there. Siraj lifts his hand like this, clearly offering something. Jadeja takes something like that, and then so he takes it with the right hand like this, and then rubs it on his spinning finger again and again, and then gets ready to bowl his ball. So there's no direct touch with the ball, as in they've not taken an object. He's not taken an object.
Just the hand and.
Yeah, he's not taken any of that. All he's done is that he's just done something like this and rubbed it on his finger. Now, people might argue, and this is interesting, people might argue that if he's rubbed whatever ointment, Vaseline, whatever it could be, I don't know, that after that if he rubs it on his spinning finger, then the spinning finger is actually coming in contact with
No, that's
the ball.
fine. That I understand.
Does that then amount to some sort of ball tampering?
Do you think the Indians would be stupid enough
To do it that
to
openly.
doctor pitches
Yeah.
And then tamper the ball.
want the ball
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
tailor-made for reverse swing? I mean,
No, plus also
Is it? I mean, do they try this so that the limelight is taken away from the game?
No, it's called. I
And-
mean, the Aussies of old had a term for it. It was called mental warfare. So it's
Mental warfare.
it's an assault not just in terms of how good they were when they were playing. They would remind you about it. They would break you down mentally.
Exactly.
And this was true not just for the sledging and things, but even what people would say in the media, whether that be journalists, former players,
Exactly.
everything. And this is we're seeing it happen again. It's nothing new.
Yeah, see, when when they are struggling on the field, when they can't be doing much on the field, then they find ways to distract and create all that.
That's what, no?
But I think the Indian team are also masters now, in the sense
Unperturbed.
they've handled worse things, and they've found a way to just.
So these
in
were
fact,
the
it
mind
actually-
games, probably. We were discussing the
fact,
other day.
Yes.
How it fires them up, because last time he was there on that over when Monkey Gate happened. It actually fired the Indian team to do better in the test match after that.
Right.
So they came back firing. So I think you are poking the bear in that case.
I mean, lest we
Australia.
forget, this is the same Australia, Tim Payne, who told the Indians, come together, mate, come together, mate. What happened?
Isn't he the captain who's now has to leave his captaincy because of lewd messages that he was
Correct.
sending?
The
away?
same. That's the same Tim Payne.
He's the same guy.
Yeah.
Pretty rich of him to be talking about what's going on the ball.
About interesting things.
Yeah.
Good you brought it up, and now our fans and our viewers would remember
Well,
this.
everyone
Not
knows
pay
that.
attention to what he's actually saying and try to, what he's trying. They would absolutely understand.
Have we
this.
got our representative from Nagpur?
Wonderful. Let's patch him in.
It's connecting again. Ah.
Somebody's asked, can you see Rohit 100%?
Is he connected?
Who?
Okay, let's take this thing. Rahul, can you hear us? Rahul, can you hear us? Testing. Connecting our line from New Delhi to Nagpur.
Yeah, you can hear us.
So, I just wanted to know from you, the biggest talking point right now is that, Australian media that were first accusing of pitch being tampered with, now they are talking about some sort of ball tampering that Jadeja did, because there's some visual that Tim Payne has tweeted out, which is now being shared also by another mischief maker in Michael Vaughan. And so they're all talking about, so we've seen the visual. I don't know if you had a chance. Was there firstly any sort of talk like that in the dressing room, in the press box, or after that, or is it more on social media right now than actually on the ground?
See, nothing as such. In fact, the moment we got to know about it, we checked with the Indian team, the media officer, and he's just getting back to us
Well, firstly,
in a while. So I think
are you eating pizza for dinner? Are you getting free publicity?
no, actually, I thought I'll change the location. Unfortunately, the venue, that is the stadium, and my hotel, there's nothing. It's a barren piece of land. Okay, I think I'm okay.
No, you're
Just
fine. We can see you, we can hear you.
we can't see you, but we can hear you.
We can see you.
We can see the
You
backdrop.
can see the glare of the lights.
No, we can see the accreditation card, but we can't see him properly enough.
Why can't we hear him now?
He's changing locations, I think.
While Jay,
Let him first fix a good location, Anurag.
Somebody is calling you. Can you?
exactly. It's been a very frustrating sort of a day because there's no connectivity in and around the stadium. So apparently we are told that there's no bandwidth there. So that only around 2,500 to 3,000 mobile phones that the venue, that is the VCA stadium, it can only accommodate 25 to 30 or 3,000 mobile phones, and suddenly everything gets jammed today. So there's no network in and around the venue.
So tell us, no talk about the ball tampering thing for now, which is good, that nobody is paying too much heed to that. But what about talk of the pitch from the Australian media still complaining, or they're saying no, maybe that talk was exaggerated?
I've seen the footage.
Jadeja, yeah, so he apparently, what it says, in fact, what is evident in that video, ointment for pain release
Yeah.
for sore fingers.
I was.
So that is what it is.
Even that's what we... So we are telling you
So
on Sports Today, this is the official word now, Rahul?
It is the official word from us, you can say. I think tomorrow, whenever the official word comes, this is exactly the version that you will get from the BCCI.
Yeah, so it's the official
that,
word. It's the official word.
Jadeja was applying ointment for sore fingers.
Okay, so there you have it. In fact, when we first started talking about this issue, we had also mentioned it at that time when that entire discussion started, that on the evidence of the video that we have also seen, it is clear that he was applying some sort of ointment to his finger. So now, as Rahul is confirming, that was ointment for his sore finger is what Ravindra Jadeja was putting. So Australian media, Fox Cricket, whoever can create as much controversy as they want, this is the official word on it right now. Rahul, what about the pitch now? Has the pitch controversy kind of died down, or they're still very aggrieved about how the pitch was, the Australian media?
Absolutely. Jadeja was here. He described everything today. He said it's a typical Indian wicket. The ball kept a bit low, and there was nothing special about this wicket as the Australians were making out of it. In fact, about the pitch till yesterday. And actually, if you see, he said it's not a rank turner. He completely dismissed that word and that idea that it was a rank turner. He said it's a typical Indian wicket,
Right.
where it will slow down as the time progresses in this test match.
So how is it expected to be tomorrow?
No, as it's of course the wicket will deteriorate with time, and the spinners will come into play. Although the Australian spinner, I thought the Indian openers played really well. Very contrasting innings from both the openers. Rohit Sharma was at his attacking best, and that's how you get runs. When you show the intent to score runs, you will get runs. On the other hand, KL Rahul took his time, got settled, had done all the hard work, but that unfortunately he got dismissed at the fag end of the day because the ball, I thought, slowed down after it pitched.
One more thing, Rahul. You said as contrasting innings played by KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma today. How would that KL Rahul innings be looked at? Are you going to look at it saying that he got 20 runs and that's not good enough? Or is the team going to look at, no, these 20 runs are very crucial because you needed a good partnership to start with, and that good partnership, because you could have very well been 40 for 4 or something like that. So how do you think the Indian team is going to be looking at KL Rahul's knock today, considering they had a 60-70 run partnership that could be very crucial going forward?
See, Nikhil, you know how how Indian cricket works and functions. The moment if you win this game and KL Rahul hasn't performed, well, he will surely play the second test. If he doesn't perform in the second test again, I think then maybe you will see a new opener, maybe a Shubman Gill opening innings with
But
with,
how do you see this
Rohit
inning?
Sharma.
How do you see this inning? If you were part of that Indian dressing room, how do you view this inning by KL Rahul? Are you happy or are you worried?
No, obviously not. I'm sure even KL Rahul wouldn't be happy because and it's very difficult at times. I was just when KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma were batting, I was just wondering: is Rohit Sharma adding more pressure on KL Rahul, or is he releasing pressure of KL Rahul? So that because on one hand there is a batsman who's scoring runs at will. He's getting those boundaries. In fact, the first boundary that he got wasn't. Rohit Sharma was in complete control. On the other hand, KL Rahul, I saw a few issues in his technique that I had noticed. In fact, everybody had noticed in the past. That was the problem with his back foot. But that problem today, when I saw, it was only and only when he was batting against the spinners, especially the off spinner, not the off spinners, Nathan Lyon, because they have these two spinners, both off spinners.
Rahul, what's the temperature there and what is it expected to be tomorrow? How?
Good question. Very good question. Because the heat will and eventually can decide the fate of the wicket at the match also. So it's not too hot. Also in the vicinity of say 27, 28 degree. But evenings are pretty okay. They are, I think, pleasant. Afternoons, of course, are very hot, but it's not too humid, by the way.
Any word from the Australian camp as to why did they decide to not play Travis Head? Why did they not decide to play Ashton Agar?
I think the connection broke.
Basically, Peter Hanscom came for the press conference, and his answer was that was beyond his pay grade.
To be fair, yeah, he himself would have been,
So basically, that's not the word that he said. That he said the decision, of course, was taken by people who outranked him.
Acha, going forward, we've seen, when we were talking here, our good friend Siddharth, whose birthday it is, we've sent him now home. So he was very bullish.
Home? What will he do at home?
We don't know whether he's gone home. We don't know where he must have gone. Nah? So, when we were talking,
Excuse me.
So he was very bullish. He said, you know what? I was saying, what should India do now? He's like, get a lead of somewhere around 300 runs, bat once and win. And I was like, only if Test cricket was so easy. There's always a twist in the tail. There's always things that happen in every session. One session you're on top, the other session you're down. When Smith and Labuschagne were batting, it seemed like it'll be Australia all the way this day. This particular first day of the Test match, India would be fielding for a long time, and then those wickets, change things. So I know India in a great position. India would be looking to get a lead, but we've seen stranger things happen in cricket, and if the pitch is going to get worse as the game progresses, what should India be doing tomorrow? Plenty for them to do.
Well, that's right. In fact, Jadeja was here when the press conference, for the press conference, just for the benefit of our viewers. I'm sure you people must have by now, what all he said. Just for the benefit of our viewers, he said that this.
Please.
Yeah,
please tell us everything.
Just hold on. I think I'm getting a call from the office. Just hang on.
So you were talking about the challenges, during Test matches. Tell us about it. What challenges do people face, the cricketers? Apart from a tricky pitch or temperature?
All sorts of challenges. Challenges like,
what could actually turn the game?
3 quick wickets can turn the game, like it turned the game in case of Australia.
True.
3 quick wickets fell and it completely turned the game around, and then they got another partnership. Again, those 2 wickets fell quickly, one after the other. Again, the game changed. Oh, I'm saying is India right now looking like a driver's seat. They're in a comfortable position. Then, if you have, one over with 2 wickets and the next over with another wicket, 3 wickets, you're in trouble. And I know India's batting till number 9, but that's not going to give you confidence. You want your batsmen to be getting runs. So I agree that India will dictate terms from here on, but one bad session can completely change the complexion of the game. Is Rahul there?
Well, I'm sorry.
Please.
You know, as I said earlier, it's been a very frustrating day.
No problem.
Not much has happened, at least for me today. You know, right from the start. Actually, I had planned early morning. I woke up at 6. I had planned that I'll go straight to the team hotel. But apparently the cab driver, he said, I'm on my way. I'm just reaching there. So, in fact, the moment I reached the hotel, the team bus was was leaving right in front of my eyes. And I couldn't do anything but, anyways.
That's okay.
To curse
Take
my
it in
luck.
your stride. Take it in
Yeah.
your stride.
So, but to just to take your what you was telling earlier to Aditi, in fact, in response to what Siddharth had said, well, it can happen, it cannot happen too, because early morning session tomorrow might just give you a fair idea as to where this match is heading. See, as of now, I think Indian team is in complete control. I know they have to bat second, but you never know. You know, one century from the other camp or from the Australian team. And by the way, by now they must have realized, they must be kicking themselves as to how they managed to mess it up.
Yeah.
Because this wicket wasn't bad. Nikhil, if you see this test match, you know, the first 2 wickets were taken by your fast bowlers, which all thought that they will never come into play in this game. But Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shami bowled those first 3 overs that they bowled. In fact, 6 overs that they bowled. Thereafter, that first delivery that Ravindra Jadeja bowled in the 7th over, that actually raised quite a few eyebrows. By the way, you know, the first ball, it pitched on the middle stump and turned. The batsman was beaten all ends up, and I thought, and this pitch is actually quite vicious. But thereafter, it was pretty okay, to be very honest. In fact, even if you look at the dismissals that happened today, first 2 batsmen, they were gone. They were gone to pacers. Then Manas Labuschagne, you know, it wasn't that he came forward, defended, was in the line of the ball, and it spun after. It beat his bat, or turned away from the bat. What happened? He missed the line completely. He came down the track, but he missed the line completely. And for Steve Smith, it was a straight delivery. It didn't have a vicious turn or something. Then Alex Carey. These are just some of the few dismissals that happened today. Alex Carey played a reverse sweep, got an under edge, was bowled off Ashwin. So the pitch. In fact, I was speaking to a few Australians. They were in agreement that this pitch, at least today, wasn't too bad. Yeah. Although we mentioned earlier that this match may not last for 5 days, and that is what I believe that's what is going to happen. And how much is enough? You never know. Maybe India can cross 350. You never know. Maybe tomorrow morning, first 2 session, they get bowled out. But I still feel, some Australia will also have to bat out of their skins now, and realizing that now they are the ones who are behind in this match.
Correct.
I think I'm getting a call from
also,
the board.
Rahul, I'd like to understand, this is coming from somebody. Okay, he's getting a call. Nikhil, you tell me that, what should they be doing? I mean, what do they normally do to keep the pitch favorable now that India is batting? And
no, so now you can't do much. What happens with the pitch is that you can't tamper with the way the pitch is now.
Do they water it at night?
Yeah, you can, but
to settle the dust.
Yeah, but you don't actually. Watering sometimes can be counterproductive as well. But you can roll the pitch. Yeah. So
roll the pitch.
So there's a roller. There are different types of rollers: a light roller, a heavy roller. Now the team that is batting decides what kind of roller do they want.
Right.
One between innings. So like say when Australia were all out, when India came out to bat, Rohit Sharma would have been given a choice what to do. And then at the end of the day's play also, the start of the next day's play, also you get a chance for the roller and you decide most
Whether
likely
you want to roll or not.
Yeah, correct.
you can even
Okay.
choose that. And what roller do you want?
Okay.
A heavy one or a light one, in
Okay,
essence.
Looking at the pitch
Interesting.
that they've got here, which seem dry even now, though it's not turning square, it's not a rank turner. Mostly captains will go for a light
Light one.
roller. Yeah, because you go with heavy, it temporarily makes
It
it
settles
okay,
the pitch
but
for a
then
bit.
It breaks. So light roller will keep it lasting
Even, let's
longer.
say. Yeah.
So that's what they will go for. The rest of the but see, for the moment, it's not looking as vicious that everyone thought it's going to be. But it's just day one.
Yeah.
It's just day
So
one.
day 2, day 3, we don't know how it turns out. But clearly that wicket phobia, and if the media was really trying to create a controversy, it's actually may have backfired and only played in the minds of the Australian team. That
Correct.
clearly came out here thinking that it's going to be very tough.
And
Though-
would
those-
Jadeja keep up his game the way the
I mean, I
Yeah,
hope
I would
so.
love.
display
I
of
would love.
skill that he
I hope so.
we saw today?
But the kind of bowler that he is.
No, could it be because he's returned after such a long time and he was
no,
waiting to play and
No, that's okay.
obvious. That
applied
goes
all
without
his
saying.
strength and gave his best?
No, sure. I mean, that's obvious. But I think more so because the kind of bowler that he is, these kind of conditions suit him.
Perfectly.
So that's why I think he was good in it.
All right.
So that's that. Any questions you want to take, or shall we wind up? Because I'm struggling to talk for. But
I can take the questions.
Yeah,
I'll take the
please.
questions. There's one from AB Sam who says that KL's ultra defensive mindset since the Zimbabwe tour, then the Asia Cup, World Cup, Bangladesh tour, now here. Mentally, he seems spent, and Gill is in the form of his life. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think they would have dropped KL just like that. I don't.
2 test matches still to go.
Still 2 test matches, yeah.
We'll get those. By the way, if you've joined us just now and you're wondering about that breaking news that we discussed, that Australia accusing Jadeja of ball-tampering, what is the Indian reply, all of those details, just go back onto the video, check it out. We've covered it intensely with all the details. So just go back onto the video, you'll get the details there.
Do we have any
Next
more
one.
chats? No, okay, this one. Gaurav Kotish says that how long will Kohli keep standing in the slips? He has a poor record as a close-in catcher. One more reason to play Gill in place of KL. I mean, we agree with the close-in catcher thing. There's a video on that we've done as well. Said we'd done it earlier. You can check that out.
Yeah.
Do we have any more questions?
Okay then.
Okay,
See-
we'll sign off.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye, guys. See you tomorrow for day 2.
See you tomorrow.
Vanakkam.
Welcome. Is it really Siddharth's birthday today?